Everybody, it's Linda G coming to you from Northern California. My neighbor's doing something, I don't know what the heck. I'm about ready to yell out at him. About ready to say, hey, keep it down for goodness sakes. So, anyway, the F in Liberty. Sorry. My face gonna get real squiggly looking. You know, I just talked to my niece and our little Asa, you know, the one that had the readjustment of his brain. He's going in for, in April, he's going in. You know, those shunts have to be readjusted. He's 9 years, he's going on 9 years old next month. I was like, what? I picked out these baby things for him. I'm not around him, so, you know, I'm not seeing that he's growing up. Boy, time flies. It's going on 9. And it's not a, you know, of course, any kind of surgery with a shunt, but it's not something that's like before. Boy, you guys really helped her family out. She had to take off work and take care of him, and you guys, I'll tell you, it was amazing how generous everyone is. But anyway, so I'm here today to go through some questions. I just watched something on one of those shows. And, well, I don't watch CNN. I do watch Sky, whatever. And I do watch C-SPAN, and I do watch MS Now. But they were talking, it was showing the President Bush was telling everybody how awful it was in Iraq and how they had these long-range missiles and they could bomb us at any moment. Of course, he got permission from Congress, but he gave us fake intel. And the people that somebody was on the show and told somebody that was there, would you have gone if you know they gave you fake intel? People died. People died from this fake intel. So this United States of America sometimes is just so disappointing. And why does it have, not that the Dems are squeaky clean, but why does it have to be that? And I remember, and a lot of you guys probably remember, a lot of you, well, I get mostly the older crowd. Us older women's and men's, we enjoy each other because we know what we're talking about. These young, beautiful people don't really know what happened back then. But I remember it, and I remember every time his numbers went down, Bush's numbers went down, they upped, it was Cheney that did it. They upped the, you know, there's like code orange, code this, code that, you know, green, blah, 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 yellow. And they would up it like there was some threat coming just to help his numbers. Till finally people caught on. And they said, wait a second. Why do you keep upping, you know, the alert every time Bush's numbers start failing? He wouldn't have won, I don't think, if it hadn't been for that fake war. And then now, I can't tell you if it's true, entertainment purposes only. But I read something, and you know, when you're reading on social media, it's, yeah, so take this with a grain of salt. But they're saying Israel was involved with 9/11. And this guy said he had a ticket to go on one of the planes that he was in Israel. He had a ticket to go on one of the planes that was due to crash. And he was advised not to go. And he put that ticket in his wallet, and that's where it stayed. And he showed it to some guy. You know, see, I have the ticket. But we don't know if that's true or not. You know, there were so many things that they said of who done it. But we did see Osama bin Laden happy and clapping, and you know, we saw that. So he was really, and his money went in on training these guys. So I don't necessarily know if it was Israel. I'm just saying that's what they're saying. But you know, Israel's marching right now. There's good people out there, and they don't want this nonsense to go on anymore. Good for them. Good for them. Oh, God, I'm embarrassed to tell you guys. Oh my God, I just read one of their oligarchs in Israel, very rich man, not bad looking. He wasn't really old. He died today of a heart attack getting what you call in his personal implant. Holy cow. Was worth that much to you, huh? So anyway, that's embarrassing. Poor guy. He didn't know what hit him. Okay, so let's go on the questions. Thank you guys for the questions. We will pray for worldwide peace, you guys. Okay, so, and let me kind of direct myself so I can get the guides to really give us honest to true answers. Oh, just like they said, that whole speech he did, was that a big fraud or what? And people are laughing at him. Oh, I love it so much. His numbers are dropping even after that speech, that two-hour speech. Some guy who works as a journalist said he was walking out of there with a Republican who didn't know that he was a journalist. You know, they were walking out together. And the guy's talking. He said, so what'd you think? He said, oh, God, it was awful. I thought that was hysterical. But that's what I'm hearing. I didn't watch it. I had to have my private area braided. You know how it goes. So anyway, okay. So we're going to bring them in. Do you hear that? About ready to open my big ass mouth. Okay. Let's get them in here. Angel of light and mercy, we ask for the help from the realm to give everyone peace. No, thank you. They just said, now, Linda, don't be gossiping. Thank you. Yes, I know that. I know that. I have to be careful what I say. But, okay, trust us and we will give you the truth. Okay, thank you. So let me ask you something real quick. Was that true about that man? No, it wasn't. About that man having the ticket in his wallet? Okay, let me ask you this. Is it true that Israel was in on President Kennedy getting rid of? Yes, they were part of that. Whoa. Holy cow. I'd heard that they were about, because he wasn't necessarily for Israel and they wanted to get rid of him. So, interesting. And I've always known Johnson was part of it too, but, you know, he wasn't happy with Johnson. Johnson was going to come up on some charges. You know, he liked to take the money. And Johnson's girlfriend said he was talking to all kinds of people to get rid of President Kennedy. Okay, so you're here. You're definitely here. We ask for peace and love. We ask that the universe only speaks the truth. Wow, they're talking so fast. Okay, so they want me to tell you, when I did this notation to tell you that we were doing this show, I told you guys that the ETs are being seen everywhere. I heard a lot in Turkey, a lot in the Middle East, in Israel, and they are everywhere. They're a lot in Russia too, and Ukraine. Somebody just said Mother Mary's in Ukraine. Now, you know I'm not Catholic, but I do like Mary. I often had a kind of an affection for her, even though, like I told you, I collect Catholic antiquities, but I'm not Catholic. But, thank you. So, Zelensky, and if you notice, his face looks a lot lighter, like he knows they're about ready to end all this. There's a look, remember he was looking, oh God, you know, like he'd been chain smoking for every day but he's looking lighter. He's looking like he's starting to feel better. They just keep winning and winning. It's unfortunate people are dying. But And the ETs are helping with Chernobyl. I noticed we haven't heard anything else about Chernobyl. I guess Russia hit Chernobyl again and kind of messed up the blockage to make sure radiation wasn't spilled. Notice we haven't heard from it again. I'll take a look-see, but the guides are telling me that the ETs have taken care of it. Don't forget, some of you guys maybe who haven't followed me very long, when Chernobyl went down, it was a terrible event. I had a friend at the time who told me in the newspapers in Russia, right on the front page, they showed a ship overseeing Silo 2. I think it was the second silo that was leaking like crazy. And it was sucking up that radiation. And they said had that ET or ship not done that, it would have been a lot worse than it was. They watch us like hawks, you guys. We really need to say thank you. When you go out there and you look up them stars, you say, hey. But you know what I felt? I felt like ships are around and you think you see nothing, but they're there. And they're in the ocean too. They've always been here. Because people will write me and say, Linda, when's the ETs going to show themselves? They're always here. They're here. And you can kind of mentally talk to them. But remember, they're spiritually different than us. They don't come through peace, love, dove. They look at us like subjects. And you don't want to mess with them because, you know, their thinking is different. They can be very truthful, very honest. But okay, thank you. But they can create miracles too. I just heard that. Okay. Will the formerly royal, known as Prince Andrew, make a deal to tell investigators everything? He wants Trump to save him. He wants Trump. I got that the other day. I felt like his people are trying to contact Trump, asking to move to the United States, and Trump protect him. However, if Trump doesn't protect him, even though what he's in trouble for is more about releasing information to, you know, he's a traitor to the United Kingdom. So that's what he's in trouble for. It's got nothing to do with the pedophile stuff. But I see him looking to Trump for a deal. Don't be surprised if you hear that Trump's thinking about allowing him, because he said it's a shame what happened to him, about allowing him to come here. So yes, I almost feel like he's saying, listen, I got info. Go ahead, hold on. Okay, thank you. So apparently he's got info in terms of the underhanded assault stuff, but he's even got info on the intel. He knows a lot about the United States intel that was released even with Epstein. Epstein had a big mouth. And something to do with Jared. That's interesting. I just saw Jared. He's over there dealing with Iran. Some guy, a military top brass, was on the news this morning and said, you know, messing with Iran is not like messing with Iraq or messing with Venezuela. These people can really not let it go, you know. They can chase after you till the end of time. They keep threatening that they're going to release stuff about Trump, but they've been threatening that for a while. Will they come to an agreement? I told you guys, he wants to do something because he wants to look like big man on campus. But in the meantime, you've got this naval ship with these young guys and women putting clothes down the sewer. Every one of them saying when that boat finally stops, they're getting the hell off, probably going to Canada. They don't want to be there. They don't want to go to war. You know, this isn't like Iraq, even when we thought they were involved in weapons of mass destruction. And look what they did with the 9/11, even though that was all a fraud. But, you know, Americans signed up. Americans wanted to go in. It's just like with Japan. When Japan hit Pearl Harbor and we were at war, let me tell you, I knew a guy that was colorblind and he worked in a factory. I worked at Singer Business Machines doing postal, if you can believe it. Singer used to do postal meters. And I worked in a department that did the indiciums, or however you called it, the little mark that says Palm Springs, you know, or whatever. So this guy was the sweetest guy, and he'd worked there forever. But he told me when he was young, you know, 18, 19 years old, he was not accepted into the military. So they put him in factories. And he said, women on buses would spit at him. Why aren't you in the military? My son's in the military. Why aren't you in the military? He tried to explain to him that he wasn't allowed. What do they call it? 4F or something. But yeah, that's that energy. That's not happening now. And the other thing is Trump is such a liar. And that hedgehog is such a, he just, if I saw him, if he wasn't the, whatever he is, there's just a creepiness about him. There's just some weird creepiness that you just, especially women, don't want to be around him. Okay. So let's just look real quick at Prince Andrew. Will he make a deal and get into the United States? That's what I'm feeling. He wants to go. We may start hearing about it. I see people very upset. That'd be like him giving a full pardon to Ghislaine. Will Trump get Andrew? And his people are telling him, don't do it. I see people telling him, don't do it. He wants him to offer it. He's waiting patiently. Yeah, he will. I don't know when this is coming up. Might be the end of March. Something's going to come up where there's some sort of offer to him to be able to live in United States. Canada won't take him. So, okay. And then I just heard something while I was looking at this. I want to throw at it real quick. I feel Kash Patel's getting ready to exit stage left. Is Kash Patel getting ready to be fired? Yeah, you know, remember Trump's first swing at trying to be a president? Remember there was people that took advantage and did these fancy trips, and he fired them. Or bought fancy tables, he got rid of them. He'd say, no, that's not right. So is Kash Patel getting ready to be exited? Is Kash Patel getting ready to be exited? Yes or no? He's under a lot of trouble right now. They just fired a whole bunch of FBI agents, and they were top brass FBI agents. Let's look at that after this, because I get a feeling they're going to loose lips McGee. They're going to, you listen to me tell you, they have ways of getting back. So I don't know what that means. So a partnership is exited. Maybe they'll give him the opportunity to leave on his own. It's depressing, but it's a quiet exit out. It's not huge. See, here's him packing his bags and heading out. They might give him a little bit of change, but yeah, they'll save money by getting rid of him. Well, he makes Trump look like a putz. Okay, what was I going to ask you guys? I just went blank on it. We were looking at Patel. Oh, these FBI agents that got exited. What's going to happen with these 9 FBI agents they fired this morning? Cash Patel fired this morning. Uh-oh. Wrong windpipe. Okay. So they fired him because they were part of the people that said we need to go in and check all this intel that Trump took to Mar-a-Lago. I don't know how they just found out about it. Tell me about these 9 that left. See, they're not supposed to, they're obligated to keep their mouth shut. They're talking to people. Hold on. They're talking to people. They're good FBI agents. And it's something, they're all going to get hired back. I just heard that. So now what? They're waiting for Trump to be taken down. Trump is going out. Did you see on the speech, somebody put a little clip of it, that he said that I don't have much longer to live? I don't know if it was a clip from an older clip, but that's what he said on the clip. I said, sweet talker. Tell me about the FBI agent. This isn't going to be a very long video. I have to do my memberships in a half hour. Yeah, they're talking to people. And I think there's a woman in there too. They're at the crossroads. And you know, I see other people offering them jobs. But I do see them being able to be hired back. Because the FBI don't pay fat. It's like you're doing this work and you're doing it for this country. They do it because they love doing it. Oh, yeah, they're very upset about leaving. Give it some time. Give it some time and they will be back. Thank you very much. I don't even see a lawsuit. I think they're just going to go TikTok. They're getting some intel from outsiders who know what time of day it is. Okay, so how is Hillary going to do? She did real good today. Yeah, I saw that. Adam Schiff wrote that ICE is stockpiling millions of dollars worth of weapons and ammunitions. And it's because they hope to go to war with the United States citizens. Let me tell you something. When I saw that, I immediately saw FBI or police or state police going in and grabbing all those weapons and taking them out. So the whole ICE thing's going to melt. And we'll get all those back. Because we paid for them. It doesn't belong to them. Oh. Yeah, you know, Kendra, I've said this time and time again. I don't see Bill Clinton with children. You know, he might have got a massage from a good-looking Russian woman, but I don't see him with children. I'm not, you know, I just don't see that. I knew him in some personal aspects, not personally for me, but at places he was at. And he wouldn't go towards the young ones. He would go towards the women. He liked women. So, and I feel Hillary, you know, somebody on some show said that she was friends with Maxwell, even though she said, I don't know her. But I think anything with money, that's how the Clintons roll. It's that even like Trump. If you got money, there was something they were getting money up for, and her husband had something, and they were working to help him get money, and they so appreciate it, but she didn't know the extent of what they were doing. I can tell you that much. But they wanted this all out in the open because, just like she said, why are they talking to me? Why aren't they talking to Trump? Or any of these other people because they know they're guilty. Um, yeah, the truth about the Cubans, and notice we're not hearing about it anymore. Marco Polo said that they're looking at it and they want the bodies of these Americans. Um, what's the truth about the Cubans shooting 4 men on a speedboat? Oh, okay. I might have heard this and I'm just repeating it. But they were there, they do this, they come over there and they're getting people out of Cuba to come to Florida. So they're basically traffickers. But you know, it's terrible in Cuba right now, and I'm sure it's family members and stuff. So somebody shot and they hurt the general or whoever was on the ship for Cuba. But yeah, big mistake, big mistake. Now they're going to be watching the waters like they're going to be watching because America, Clinton doesn't want the Cubans coming to Florida. Not Clinton. Trump doesn't want the Cubans coming to Florida. Okay. You know, I gotta tell you, I don't like Jared Kushner. So somebody just said, is somebody gonna rein in Trump from his taste in his mouth to hit Iran? And the other thing is he's upsetting Putin. Did you hear that Putin, the media and Putin make fun of Trump all the time? He's a big freaking laugh. And he put the red carpet out for Putin and they're laughing at him. So, Putin has stuff on Trump, but Trump really wants his adoration, but it's not going to happen. Um, you know, can I tell you something? When I was telling you guys about the ETs, I got this hit that Putin has actually had some encounter. And it's weird. He should know better than to mess with the ETs because they've given him some sort of information, like knock it off or with your nukes. They can stop all those nukes. They just showed on the news a picture of the last time Russia tried to send off a nuke. Wasn't that long ago. And it... Okay. You know, my daughter knows more about the Charlie Kirk case. Um, the young man that got arrested in the Charlie Kirk case was a setup. And I'm telling you, his wife is up to no good. I don't know the details. There's another person that has a show that really talks trash about her. But what's going to happen is Trump goes falling. Oh, and then she does that with the fake tears. They even showed her backstage when she went to come up and she was putting the onion stuff so she would look teary. She's not right. I don't know what it is. Her eyes, oh my God. But she's going to fall. But she's going to fall after Trump gets exited state. After this organization, which isn't as big as you think. Yeah, right now they speak powerful because there's more of them, barely more of them that can you know, let me write. I'm going to tell you guys something else. There's the Dems are taking over, the independents are taking over. Oh, John Fetterman's getting ready to go, but that's another story. But there's so much anger, even with Republicans, towards Trump. She just starts floating away. And when all this stuff comes out about Trump, the absolute horror of what we're about ready to... I'm not even going to be able to listen to it. They were playing some tape and you could hear the screaming. I can't do it. God bless them. I just put that white light and encompass these babies. But Jesus, you can't stand kids screaming. It's terrible. But I just see her slowly drowning. And there's something coming up. I'm not quite sure what it is. where she's under investigation and they're going to really be taking money from her. So something's getting ready to happen. I can't tell you specifically what it is, but my guides have told me before that that's getting ready to take place. She's sold her soul. Okay. Would she have something to do with her husband's death? Somebody just said yes. Yes, she knew of it or was part of it. Oh my God, you guys. Did we talk about this? I don't think I've talked about this. Somebody just said yes. So all this will come out. Feels like there's a lot of details. By the way, the SAVE Act is not going through the Senate. The SAVE Act doesn't have enough votes because a lot of Republicans are saying no. Remember how they wanted us to bring our birth certificate to vote? All this stuff he's trying to do with the SAVE Act, which he's all smirky and it's going to be wonderful. It's not going through, sucker. Even if the Senate said yes, I see the Supreme Court cutting it down. I don't know what this is, but he's not going to be able to take over our voting. I know you guys are worried about it, but it just feels. And I even feel Elon Musk afraid to do something because they're watching him. So I see him staying out of, and can you believe his Starlink? He took it away from Russia and gave it to Ukraine. There you go. That's what I'm talking. So the SAVE Act isn't going to go through. Now, there was something else I wanted to ask. The Supreme Court doesn't feel guilty. Not at all. They're getting a little tired of him. Well, the ETs are around all the time, but those who can connect with them are vibrationally at a pace that they can talk to you. They can't talk to a hillbilly in the back mountains of Louisiana. They can only talk to those who are more enlightened. And it doesn't mean that it's peace, love, duck. They're a little bit different, you guys. It's not like talking to a holy energy, like to a God energy, just reeks of love. This is more of like a scientist kind of thing. It's very interesting. But they do care about us. You know, it's almost like Starman. Remember you said the one thing about you humans is that when things are the worst, you come together, and how he was very touched that humans do that. That's kind of like what they are. So, the lawsuits appealing Judge Aileen Cannon will go through. She's going down the drain too. All this is happening maybe for her right after Trump is out by the end of this year. Krista says, naval men and women, heart. You know, my first husband was Navy, USS, was he USS Carpenter? I think he was on a refueling ship. And then my second husband was Navy. I don't know why I like the Navy. My dad was Army. He was a paratrooper. Yeah, Pam Bondi's in huge trouble. You guys, they're filing articles of impeachment, but don't worry. It's really going to take off once Trump. I'm telling you, I saw Trump figuring out a way to get the hell out of Dodge. Because once that midterm happens, he's already looking for the exits. And all his other people are just trying to protect themselves. So because he knows he's in huge trouble, and he knows that these Democrats and independents and Republicans, whoever is still there, are going to open up the books, and it's going to be awful. And Jack Smith stuff's going to come out, and they're going to know all the intel that he did, that he's a traitor. They're going to want to hang him, I'm telling you right now, but that's why he wants to get out of Dodge. I think he hopes he might die. And he could, but I don't know. I just know that he knows he's in trouble, and he's already talking maybe to Saudi Arabia. He's already talking about getting out of there. Russia won't take him. Pork. You know, I always looked at Cuba as the enemy because I was raised from the Kennedy days, you know, Cuban Missile Crises and all that. But Cuba doesn't deserve the heartache that they're going through right now. And really, if you think about it, you can't blame the boats that are coming over and taking people and bringing them to Florida because they're struggling. But the United States doesn't like that. So it's interesting they got away with it. Oh, will the cartel and corrupt police ever be totally removed from Mexico? They've been there forever. I remember very sweet women getting murdered, people who worked in the government. I told you guys about the story that a sweet lady came to my office when I was doing readings, and she said, Linda, my cousin, he built a beautiful home. He has a 9-year-old daughter. Him and his wife go to the house in Mexico, and they weren't even there a few days, and banderos or whatever they call them showed up, grabbed him, and by the way, he was on medicine, so he was in a very delicate condition. They grabbed him, took him, and tried to take the little girl too, but the mother held on for dear life, and they finally let go and took off. And she wanted me to throw the cards and say, you know, will he come back because he's got to have his medicine? I said, oh honey, he's already gone. That day he was gone, and you'll never find his body. I was so sorry to tell her that. I'm sure she hoped that I was wrong, but I wasn't. They never did find him. Okay. Is it true Kamala Harris is planning on running for president again? She's looking at it. They're going to find out she won in the first place. Yeah, she's still trying to get over the absolute heartache she went through. It says no, you guys. I don't know if maybe another person like Gavin Newsom gets out there and just blows them up, but I'm not seeing yes. Okay? I'm not seeing yes. By the way, Jasmine Crockett is up in the polls in Texas, which is wonderful news. That other guy that I remember I threw the cards and it looked like he would win. Maybe I'm wrong. Jasmine's cards were not good in the beginning, but towards the end they were good. So maybe she's struggling and she wins. I would really like her to win. So she's up in the polls. And also, I wanted to tell you guys, who else? Oh, California governor. So the Republicans are on top because there's 9 Democrats running. But guess who's the top Democrat? It's Katie, which I like her. She's a go-getter. She's the one with the whiteboard. Swalwell is beneath her, and then that guy, the billionaire, is on the bottom. So they'll sort that out, but I'd like Katie to win, and I like Swalwell too. Okay. Let's see. Hakeem Jeffries was caught funneling IPAC money to help Trump, reportedly stockpiling weapons. IPAC money to help Trump. And I don't like Shumer either. Well, I will tell you, Hakeem Jeffries went out there and gave a little spiel after the Trump thing. They're not in, listen, I know this sounds weird, but when the Dems win and the independents win big time, and they go to vote for the leader of the House, I don't think it's Hakeem. I think it might be somebody else. I don't know why. I picked it could be a female. I even see him surprised. So I don't know. I could just, I don't think I'm wishing because it doesn't matter to me, but I'm not necessarily a fan of his. I don't hate him, but I just don't think he's going to, and Schumer's out too. I'm going to tell you right now, Schumer is out. Um, some of those people got in there and started getting too comfy and, oh God, that McConnell. Oh, did you see him? Somebody tried to ask him a question. He was actually walking, holding on to a guy's arm, and he let go for a sec. She said, "What, sir? What do you think of ice?" He just fell flat on his face. I shouldn't laugh. Oh my God, he fell flat on his face, and they went and they picked him up and tried. That's a geriatric ward where he is. His office. They've probably got a porta potty in there and everything else. God bless him. But you know, he's the reason we're in a lot of this trouble. Um, I heard Chicago's doing pretty good. You know, this Iran thing, will it escalate or simmer down? I'm feeling like I'm really hoping. I feel the ETs are involved. Don't ask me where I'm getting that from. And I feel like, Iran doesn't want to have to go through this. I just don't like his son-in-law. I see some promise that will be broken. So they may promise no nukes, although they feel it's not the United States' right to tell them what to do or not to do. What is it with the U.S. always telling people, you can have this, but you can't have this? It's like, go back to your own country. Notice how they're not working on Kim Jong-un. So, yeah, here's the deal. I'm going to tell you guys. I don't even see a light bombing. I'm seeing a stand down. And I'm seeing that China and Russia are threatening enough that it scares Trump. And I think Iran knows this and like, neener, neener, neener. Yeah, go ahead and do it and watch what our friends do. They just don't have that leeway like they did before. And it pisses Trump off, but I feel him being stuck. I could be wrong. They did that meeting. They're supposed to meet in a couple of weeks. Yeah, we'll have meetings till the cows come home. Um, I don't see Hakeem Jeffries as compromised, but I'm telling you, he's not going to get voted in because people are just done with him. He didn't fight enough. Do you guys remember Bridget Jones? One of my favorite. You know, I own all of the movies. And when she was with Colin Firth, Darcy, and they had started dating, and she was thrilled. Do you remember when she showed up for one of his big lawyer things, and she had put too much rouge, and her cheeks were bright red, and she had this dress on that was too tight. And when she was standing in his kitchen, she said, the thing about you is you just don't fight for me. You never fight for me. So it's like, I don't know why I went there. Why did I even go there? But why would I say, you don't fight for me? You never fight for me. Um, Jeffries, that's why I went there. Jeffries, you know, he talks the talk, but he doesn't walk the walk. And yes, he is a little compromised. Listen, when it comes to the money, you guys, even with Israel, we give Israel billions, and they live on welfare. They have housing, they have babysitters, they have schools, they have health. And what do we have? In the meantime, the rest of us can just lay here and struggle. This will be all changed. Don't worry. Don't worry. People are waking up. So many people have said, dear God, why did I vote for him? Yes, immigration detention centers, I saw it. I actually saw the shutdown. I saw worker, even volunteers taking the names, making sure the people in there were comfortable, had clothes, had shoes, had bedding that was decent, had food, and slowly but surely getting each person monitored and out of there. Maeve said, right now we really need to worry about life on this planet, not other ones. Well, I'm not worried about other planets. When I talk about ETs, I talk about what they're saying about this planet. They're worried about us because if we blow ourselves up, it'll affect the other ones. And don't forget, they got stations down under the water. They got them out at Skinwalker Ranch. They got them in mountains. Ooh, this looks interesting. Hold on. Hi, Linda. This is Janine. I was just watching a couple on YouTube on The Shift, 3 Days of Darkness, and then one about Dolores Cannon's revelation on the Great Reset and what part of the world will be the first contact from ETs. The thing is that there's contacts going on all the time. There is no first. It's been going on for billions of years. This is all supposed to happen in March. Now the sightings in the Middle East. Are we getting close to the shift? I don't know about a shift, but I see them being able to talk to more people and being seen a lot better. Okay. Yeah, I don't blame you, Dark. She said, I don't want billions of our tax dollars spent on a pointless war or loss of lives. Let me tell you something, you guys. I was in and out. I could see that they wanted to hit Iran. Now I'm not feeling it as strongly. But here's the deal. If we hit Iran, there will be blood. There will be American soldiers that will go down. And that's, I think, when the military comes in and tells, I don't know what's happening here, but I feel that they say to Congress, impeach him, get him out of here. He's a pure and present danger, a clear and present danger. I feel that Americans aren't going to put up. They don't want to send their kids to this. This war doesn't make any sense. You're talking about them not doing nukes. And by the way, didn't he say, I obliterated any way for them? Somebody on some show was talking to one of Trump's people. Well, you know, we have to make them stop. I thought you did stop them. He said he obliterated. Well, they're trying to build them back up. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. So anyway. Okay, you guys. So thank you for coming. I'll be on pretty soon at 3 for my members. Today, it's letters S through Z. I love you all. Talk to you soon. Cheers.